Welcome back.
Welcome, everybody.
So today we are joined with the lovely Sue. She's here today to discuss her journey with her daughter being diagnosed with autism. So Savannah is 8, isn't she,
She
Sue?
is, yes.
I think let's start from the very beginning. Obviously,
Okay.
she's your only child, isn't she?
She
so
is,
I guess
yeah.
everything that happened, you don't know any different because you haven't got anything to compare it to. So was it milestones were different, or where did you first pick up on it?
It was quite bizarre. It was when they did the 2-year health check. I mean, she was a hard work child anyway, the baby. I mean, everyone go, don't worry, when they eat, they sleep. She never slept.
Really?
No.
Oh, really?
Like, we would be awake anything from 2 to 4 hours every night.
Oh, wow.
It was, I don't know how I functioned.
Yeah.
I really don't.
No.
So we had the 2-year check. The health visitor came over and she was going, does she do this? Does she do that? And I was looking at her going, she's not performing monkey. Do you know what I mean? I was thinking she's a 2-year-old child. And she was going, I think we need to get her checked. And I was like, oh my God, no. I was absolutely, no. I'm not getting her labelled, which everyone thinks, don't they?
Yeah.
And I tell you what it was, a little voice in my head told me to get in contact with a friend of mine who hadn't been in contact for about 15 years. And there's a reason behind that, because I finally found her. She literally worked up the road from me. It was so weird. She came over and she's like, oh, I had one child, I've now got 4. And I was like, whoa. And she went, one of them's autistic. And I was like, I said, they think Savannah's autistic. And she said, let me check, I'll come and see her. And she literally watched her and she went, she's showing all the signs. And if it wasn't for her...
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
We would have got her diagnosed.
Yeah.
So... Sorry. No,
that's fine. Where's the come on, Kaylee. Get the tissues.
I mean, it's such an emotional struggle.
Yeah.
Because they don't have a voice and
No.
they're so little, and then you as a parent, you sit there and you start questioning everything that you're doing. Like, is it something I've done? So I even
Totally.
think about some things with Leia.
Yeah.
Like, Leia doesn't speak yet properly.
Okay.
She mumbles and she babbles and she does certain things.
Yeah.
And how emotional have I got over it in the part? And you really start to blame yourself.
Oh, you do, because you think, what did I do wrong?
Yeah.
It's the first thing you think.
Yeah.
And do you know what it is for me? It's other people giving their input on your child that you're with 24 hours a day. They're like,
Yeah.
Drew's had comments like, oh, she doesn't do this, and it's like, do you know what? Just keep yourself to yourself. Do not compare other children, because regardless whether they have autism or whether they don't, everyone does stuff at different stages. So even if Savannah hadn't been diagnosed with it, it might have just been that she just developed later with her speaking, because my daughter did. She wasn't like, my son is like blah, 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 but my daughter, she wasn't as fast paced as that. But then she walked sooner, and like everyone hits these milestones different anyway.
Yeah,
didn't
exactly.
They?
I mean, the thing for us, one of the telltale signs, which I didn't know, she just lined everything up. Like, literally, I walked out the room, I walked back in, and she'd lined one of her, like, all her toys, like, they were all evenly spaced from one end of the room to the other. And I just walked in and went, whoa.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Impressive.
Yeah.
Well done.
I was like,
girl.
but they were all in line, and if one fell over, that's when the melt. And I think, you could see, but obviously she didn't talk. She didn't talk till she was 6.
Yeah.
She's her
Not
first
anything?
word, not a word.
Oh, wow.
That must have been
At
difficult
all.
for you.
So, and she still doesn't say sentences, but we're getting like maybe 3 and 4 words together now.
Yeah.
Which is like and she can write.
Okay.
Which is brilliant.
Yeah,
but
yeah. Is she in a mainstream school?
No.
No.
And I'm really pleased that they did diagnose her at her age, because at the time I was so, my mum was like, she doesn't need to be labelled. And I was like, Mum, do you know what? This is a good thing.
Yeah.
Because we've got all the help and support that we need.
Yeah.
And they were amazing. I mean, she ended up in a preschool that was for children with learning difficulties. And, she's had the support. And even at the school she's at now, they're amazing.
Yeah.
I can't fault them at all.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind me asking, your friend came over and said she's got all the telltale signs.
Yeah.
What did you find were the telltale signs with Savannah?
Well, a lot of the stimming, which is the flapping. She was a little bit on her tippy toes, but that soon stopped. But obviously she wasn't talking.
Yeah.
There was a lot of noises,
Yeah.
a lot of the noises that autistic children make.
Yeah.
Like a humming noise. But she just said, she said, looking at her, and there was no eye contact, which has obviously changed a lot now.
Yeah.
You know, we've had some challenges, but we're getting there.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
The sleep's not great still.
I was going to
really? Oh.
So at 2, we got married when she was 2, and I decided the best thing for us to do was me to sleep with her because she was awake so much. We were both just like
knackered.
Zombies.
Yeah.
I don't know how I drove a car some days.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, and I was working as well, so it was just couldn't do it.
Does she sleep better with you there now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does. I mean, there'll be the odd night and you'll go, oh no, because you know that you don't want to go backwards again.
Yeah.
So you do, and especially she's out of routine.
Yeah.
She's very strict with a routine. If she's out of her routine, then she will, unfortunately, go back, and it'll probably be awake not as long, but usually an hour to 2 hours.
Yeah.
There'll be the odd one when it's 3 and you're just like, come on.
Yeah.
You know.
How do you find that you settle her? Does she get frustrated before when she couldn't communicate, was she frustrated or?
She'll just be alert, just really wide awake and just making loads of noises, and you'll just be like, no.
Yeah.
No. You know, we're going to bed.
Yeah.
It's just, but it doesn't matter if you kept the room dark, because everyone goes, keep the room dark. We had blackout blinds, you name it. We did everything by the book. No. She's quite headstrong.
Yeah.
Like Cancerians are.
Yeah.
She's very independent, very headstrong. So, yeah,
Bless
got
her.
a tricky one there.
Yeah.
Challenging.
Sounds it.
Does she have, is it EHCP? Is that what it is?
She does, yeah.
So
Yeah, she has that.
in her class environment, how many, is it like a 1-to-1 or what does she have?
I think there's about 6 to 8 children in each class, and
Right.
there's about 3 to 4 teachers.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they try to put them with the same ability, you know, where they're at.
Yeah.
You do get the odd child that probably isn't still talking or is still in nappies.
Yeah.
But majority of them, they are pretty much on the same level.
Yeah.
Like the same, level of learning.
Yeah, that's good. With the milestones and stuff, when she was obviously learning to crawl, walk, all of those things, I know you said she didn't obviously talk till she was 6. Did she hit those on, or it's slightly delayed?
There's like crawling and walking, isn't there? I'm just trying to think what the milestones actually are. But the crawling, walking, and obviously the talking. I mean, if you look it up now, they expect a 2-year-old to say up to 250 words.
Whoa.
That's what it is now.
Is it?
Yeah, a 2-year-old
Jesus.
should be saying 250 words.
Wow.
Yeah. My kid is nowhere near that. Like,
No.
you know, and I just, that dreaded check, it's like when you said the healthcare visitor come around with the checklist.
Yeah.
That is a dreaded checklist in my eyes. Like, when the Leia had her first sort of one, she was walking by she was 1 year old, like running around like an absolute nutter. Like her motor skills are so advanced.
Yeah.
It's the communication side of things that have been a bit slow.
Yeah.
And I actually went to a doctor a couple of months ago. The doctor basically said, I'm not dismissing you, but get out and give your girl a little chance to catch up.
Yeah.
She was a bit like that with me. But it's that checklist that comes out. And it's when I saw the 2-year-old with 250, I couldn't believe it.
No.
It's like 250 words.
Jeez, that's a
The
lot.
pressure that they're putting on children.
Yeah.
And then you come down to it's labelling them. I'm really not, I don't agree with it. I agree that you should give them the care and the what they need, but it's all the label. So people are so quick to label children.
Yeah.
Well, as we were saying on our way up here, the spectrum is so big.
Yeah.
I was reading up on it, and there could be someone that needs 24-hour care, and then there's somebody who just has like light sensitivity. They don't like going into supermarkets because of the light. There's so many. The spectrum is so big now, and I think things just get added into that now anyway, don't they? As well.
Yeah, because Savannah's, she's very sensitive. I mean, she has to wear ear defenders.
Yeah.
It's like, whenever we used to go to a playground, it never, like a park, it never ended pretty.
Oh, really?
Proper meltdown because of other children making high-pitched noises.
Yeah.
But also if there was loads of children as well, I think because her sight as well, she doesn't like the sun, hates the sun.
Yeah. Oh,
she's
bless
like,
her.
she doesn't like it.
She's got some nice sunglasses.
Yeah.
Oh.
But she's very sensitive. But she's not with clothes. Like some children are they won't, some of the kids won't even wear socks or shoes at the school.
Yeah.
And you see them running around with bare feet.
Yeah.
You think, oh my God, it's freezing.
Yeah.
But some don't even like the feeling of clothes being on.
Yeah.
So luckily, because I thought, oh God, can you imagine?
Yeah. What about foods and stuff? Is she okay with
she's
foods?
not good with food.
She's not?
No.
Is it textures or just she'll only eat certain things?
Yeah, they call it what do they call it? Food phobia. So it's certain smells.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because everything's heightened. So it is textures. It's very beige. She'll eat cucumber and carrot. It's mainly like oat cakes, and we give her gluten-free breads. She's dairy free.
Okay.
And she eats that sneaky bit of chocolate that she shouldn't do.
Yeah.
But
is that your choice, or has she got allergy?
well, what it is, when she was diagnosed, I did lots of research, and apparently the gut is really sensitive in autistic children.
Oh, okay.
So being gluten and dairy free does help.
Oh, okay.
Because she was really sensitive, and I didn't even realise that half the time she was screaming, not because, like when she was a baby, she used to scream all the time, and I'd be like, but it was because she was, her stomach was upset. So I didn't realise. Because she used to eat pretty much anything when she was younger, because obviously I used to blend everything up and she used to just eat it. Because she was hungry, but as she's got older, now she's got, I'm not eating that.
Yeah.
So her food is very much, it's like Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
Her lunchbox is exactly the same every day.
Yeah.
And if you try and put something in different, she won't.
No.
I've tried to get her to try things, so she'll either put it near her lip or she'll smell it and she'll be like,
Yeah.
So tell us what your like day-to-day life is, because you said she's quite into like a routine, isn't she? Is it like, so give us a little run through of your day.
Well, I mean, I work.
Yeah.
So I do try and get her to fit into our life as well.
Yeah.
But it's difficult because we have to sort of she takes the lead, really.
Yeah.
I mean, she has to, every night she'll write down what she's doing the next day on a whiteboard. Because her writing's come on amazing.
That's amazing.
But that's another story I want to talk to you about, because this is another crazy thing that we found out.
Okay.
So she has to write, so she'll put the day of the week and what she's doing.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. And it has to be that. If you start adding things in, forget it. Because she'll start screaming, she'll have a tantrum, she'll be jumping up and down for ages. So.
Yeah.
But you have to literally, I mean, she goes to school, she loves school. She loves that routine of school.
Good.
And yeah. But
how does she get in like the half terms and summer holidays? Is she that set her back?
We now, because I work and so does my husband, we then take her to a school holiday clubs.
Yeah.
And where we're taking her to the same one, she's actually starting to like them.
Oh, that's good.
And we've called them special names so she doesn't get confused. I mean, it was hard to start with because obviously one of the ones she goes to, there is children that are on the spectrum. So they obviously make a lot more noises and they don't understand. So she'll end up having a real big meltdown and it's quite hard.
Yeah.
But there's a few that she goes to in their one-to-one sessions. It's great.
Yeah.
So this week she's like pretty much every day at a holiday club. She loves it.
Yeah.
So
Oh, good for her.
she keeps going to be school. Like, yes, soon.
Oh, bless
So
her.
yeah. But the writing, this is another thing, and her speech. So when she was diagnosed, we did loads of private tests on her to see if she was lacking anything else.
And did you research where to go to get her?
We went to
with the
a
tests
lady
and stuff?
privately. Yeah.
Okay.
This lady was recommended to us, and she said, "Look, I want you to cut her hair. You know, we'll do a stool sample, everything." The only one we couldn't do was blood, because obviously to get from her when she was 2, forget it. They said that one of the things that flagged up in her body was she was really dangerously high in metals. Her body was. I don't know if that's from childhood vaccines. I don't know. I mean, it could be from me. I was using deodorants with aluminium in. You just don't know, do you?
Yeah.
Don't know. Very, very interesting. But as she got older, I did some more research. So probably it was when she was about 6, probably coming up to 7. I did some research and found there's a spray that you can get from America, which has got, it's zeolite, which is from a volcanic rock.
Oh, right.
So it just tastes like water. But apparently they were spraying it into to adults and children to detox their bodies from high metals.
Oh, wow.
Heavy metals. And so we got it. It wasn't cheap, but I thought, do you know what? I don't care.
Give it a go.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
We did it. And this is where, I don't know if something cleared in her brain a little bit. I don't know to this day. But this is when her speech started coming on. She started writing. We sat there one day and she just wrote all the days of the week and we just went, whoa.
Oh, my
It
God.
was crazy. It
bet
just, like
that was-
overnight, it was the weirdest thing. We were just like, oh my God.
Wow.
I don't know if she's still got, we haven't done the test again, but it's something we will do probably later on.
So did you still give her that spray?
We did it for a year.
Yeah.
And I thought,
And then was that a daily thing?
yeah, 3 times a day. So just sprayed it, but because it was getting quite expensive, but we didn't see her progressing any more from that. But we saw a lot of progression and thought we might not be able to go any further than this because but it was worth a try.
Yeah.
And whether we do it later again, I don't know. But it was just
That's
incredible.
really
We were just like, this is really weird.
Yeah, really
to have
interesting.
no words, and then all of a sudden these words just started coming.
Yeah.
And it's like now she really taps into, when you say, like, she couldn't say cucumber for ages, bless her heart. And the other day I started looking at her and I was like trying to break down the syllables. I was like, and now she's got it.
Oh. Yeah.
So now she keeps coming up to me and she keeps looking at me and saying it to me.
Oh, bless her.
So her vocabulary, she's getting like probably a new word every day.
Oh, that's amazing.
So it's just getting a sense of it. So it's trying to get her to ask, like say, I want something. Because it's just like point and just say the word. So now we're trying to get her to speak sentences.
Yeah.
But it has been a lot easier since she's got some words now.
Good.
Which is great. It's still the unknown.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know. I mean, you know, I never thought she was going to ever use the toilet.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
And I remember at 4, Mum said she'll do it in her own time. I went, do you think? And at 4, she was adamant. And Mum said, we didn't do any potty training with her. No. She did it all by herself.
Oh, bless her.
You know, and that was it. And then the thing is with her, she's got a photographic memory. So she'll remember anything, you know, in a room.
Yeah.
And if you move something, she'll put it back. She'll know. Right. She's got such, like, really tapped into that kind of side of things.
Oh. They say, don't they, that autistic people are so clever. I mean, we were saying on the webpage, did you say Elon Musk?
Elon Musk, yep.
They said that if Einstein got diagnosed when he was younger, he would have it.
Oh, yeah.
Like all of these people, because they're so clever in the way they remember everything.
There's another thing with Savannah I find really quite spooky. Is, say I'm upstairs with my mobile and it goes off.
Yeah.
She'll say, Holly work, and I look, and Holly work has actually texted me. It's really weird.
Oh, how
it's
crazy.
It's telepathic.
Yeah.
I'm like that. Okay.
Yeah, she has.
It's really bizarre. It's really strange.
The names of the people that you sent through, Kaylee, are Mozart, Einstein and Sir Isaac Newton. If they were alive still and diagnosed, they say that they would be autistic.
Wow.
Yeah.
They've all got powers. They've all got powers. Like some of them are really good with numbers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Artistic.
Yep.
So she really enjoys her writing. What are her other hobbies?
She likes painting, but she'll paint things the same colour. But when she does colouring, she used to colour everything the same colour, but she's starting to learn that you can mix colours.
Yeah.
So things are, like, she's doing quite well with that. She loves, like, dancing.
Yeah.
She loves music.
Yeah.
But the thing is, once she gets a song, she'll make you play it over. You're like, oh my God, I can't listen to that song again. I remember
I get like that though.
Yeah, and you're like, oh no. But she's actually a delightful little girl.
Yeah.
I always say that she was given to me for a reason, to give me patience, because I never had patience for anything.
Yeah.
Anybody, nothing. And I think she's been given to me to teach me to have patience.
Yeah. Do you feel like, obviously, when you get told something like that, it's a shock to your system? No. Do you feel any sort of stigma coming along with having the label? Or I know that's a hard question to answer as a mum. The
only thing is, because obviously you've got a blue badge, because obviously she used to be a runner, and I mean, she's just run off in the road because she's got no sense of danger at all, even now.
Yeah.
That's what worries me, because, you know, she used to just run off into the road and you'd be like, oh my God, you know, she doesn't have a clue. And even to this day, so we've got a blue badge, and I think sometimes people see us with that blue badge and they think, why have you got that?
Yeah.
And
they've been judgy.
Yeah, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
You know, I think people should be a little bit more open-minded to things.
People are very quick to comment these days, aren't they? Especially with the blue badges as well. You can see it, you know, when people rock up into the car parks. You can actually see people checking windows to see if they have got it.
Awful.
And it is terrible.
Bad. I remember we were in a pub once, and it was just after Savannah was diagnosed, but Savannah used to make a lot of vocal noises which were quite high. Which makes me laugh, because actually she doesn't like sound, but she's probably the noisiest kid. Do you know what I mean? It's really funny. And she kept making this really high-pitched noise. This woman kept staring, and I was like, oh my God, I could feel myself going. And my husband goes, oh, please don't, because he knows what I'm like. And this woman just turned around and went, it's really loud. And I went, I'm really sorry, but she has autism. And she went, her face just dropped. Yeah, and the people around her were just like shocked. And I just went, it's okay, but just don't judge.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Do you know what? That's probably the best thing you could have done, because one, it put her in her place, and two, it's probably made her think now going forward.
Totally.
Like, don't be
because
so...
I suppose you look at Savannah and she was like a young girl, and you couldn't tell. But I mean, obviously now she's getting older, where she does a lot of jumping.
Yeah.
You can kind of see that there's something, people are a bit more aware, because she does flap a little bit sometimes, or, you know, she wears the ear defenders a lot.
Yeah.
So people aren't as bad, but parks, any soft play used to be a nightmare for me.
I bet.
Really?
Because obviously then she was so little, people didn't know.
Yeah.
But mums are just like, they just stare at you, think you're not helping.
Yeah.
This girl's having a meltdown because she's got a sensory overload.
Yeah.
You're not helping staring.
Talk about the meltdowns and tantrums. In a child, they're bad anyway.
Yeah.
Experiencing them at the moment, they're hell. But am I right in saying that they're stronger? They go on for a little bit longer, and it takes her a while to calm back down. Does she have certain things that she does that settles her?
The thing is, we don't tend to take her out. I know it sounds awful, but we don't tend to take her out too much into places we know are going to trigger it.
Yeah.
Only because we don't think it's fair for her, but also for us. My anxiety level starts going. I'm like, you just don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And it's like the mums that are looking at you and doing that judgy thing, it does then put you on edge to not want
totally.
to.
I mean, I've got to a point in my life that I have learned to just block people out. I don't know how I've done it, because I'm usually a person like, don't look at me and all this, but I've got to that point now I can block people out.
Yeah.
Like, we walked back from a friend's house yesterday, and Savannah had a bit of a meltdown. I think because there was a lot of people around, the sun was out. It was just overload. And I was just, come on, Savannah, it's okay, we're nearly home. You know, just think we've got a nice little ice lolly when we get home. It's almost like you've got a bribe.
Yeah.
But it kind of helped a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're not far, and...
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But you're her mum, you're comforting her. That was probably lovely.
It was just me talking to her calmly.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw people looking, I thought, do you know what? Block them out, Sue.
Yeah.
They're not there.
No.
They're not there.
Yeah.
Is she more for you or her dad, or equal?
It's funny. I think she is a bit of a mummy's girl, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Though when I'm not around, obviously she's all, you know.
Yeah.
So Christian he does all the playing with her. Like, she likes foot tickle, this thing called foot tickle. They play around, and he does a lot of the wrestling with her. And
Yeah.
the rough play.
Yeah.
She thinks of him as like that.
Yeah.
The problem is when she gets angry with him, she does hit him. I don't get that. She looks at me and I'm like, don't you dare. There's a look I give, and she's like, I won't do that. But she does do that. That's the problem. This is one of the challenges we've got at the moment.
Yeah.
Because she's hitting adults. She wouldn't hit the children.
Right.
But if she gets told off by an adult, she'll hit them.
Yeah.
Thump them, slap them.
Just a bit of a,
Ugh,
it's not,
go away.
yeah.
Go
Or the
away.
nostrils flare, which is quite funny. But I don't get that. I think she just looks at me and thinks, best not.
Yeah. So do you get quite a lot of support? Like, I know obviously she's in a school with special needs, but do you get like one-to-one visits? Do you have to go regular appointments? Like, how does that work on the medical side of it?
We're just in the process of getting funding to have a PA.
Oh, okay.
So we get respite then.
Yeah.
We do get funding anyway, which we tend to use on the holiday clubs. She does go to a session, I think it's like every other Saturday, which is for children on the spectrum or you know, additional needs. And that gives us a whole day.
Yeah.
And I love it. It's just like my time. I just go shopping, I potter around, I do things for me, because we can't take her shopping.
No.
You just can't. I mean, if you're going to go into a shop, nip in somewhere, grab something, fine. But if you're doing a big shop, forget it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I think
know.
that's the same with most anyway. I
still
absolutely
hate
would
it.
not do it. I'm like, it's click and collect, delivery, can't.
Unless you just can't. Or just silly little things, you know, like you want to, I don't know, go to the hairdresser.
Yeah.
But she's just started to want to come to the hairdresser with me.
Oh, that's nice.
Which is Ruby.
Yeah.
So she sits in one of Ruby's chairs.
Goes to Ruby.
So she goes and sits on the chair and plays with that, and Ruby's brilliant.
Yeah.
So it's like I am starting to be able to do things a little bit more, which I thought I'd never be able to do.
Yeah.
So we do rewarding for you as well.
I took her to get a haircut the other day. I only just went over to the road. There's a lady that comes to my house that I thread, and I said I went and got my hair cut really quickly because I had to go out. And I said to her, "Would you cut Savannah's hair?" Because she knows her.
Yeah.
So she did it.
Yeah. And she
And
just let her do it.
honestly, I was nearly in tears because oh my God, she's actually sitting in a chair getting her hair cut. I was like, my God.
My friend's daughter has autism, and she wouldn't let anyone touch her hair, do anything with it.
No.
I think even now she only washes it like once a week.
Yeah, we do struggle. So we had problems with the bath. she wouldn't get in the bath for ages. And I'm not joking, she one time had a ring, it was disgusting, a ring around her neck, and I went, she's got to go in there. It was awful. And the thing is, it sounds like we were murdering her. Like, I was like, quickly got her in, and I tell you what, we washed her so quick, but it sounded like we were murdering her. I was like, oh my God, my neighbours, but we did it. And but now I say to her, right, you're going to have a bath. She'll go, no. And I go, but your hair smells of chips.
Oh, because she doesn't like the smells either.
Flowers. I'm like, no, chips. So we've got this little thing, and she'll laugh it off. It's quite funny. But we'll get her to have a bath probably once a week.
Yeah.
And we get these bath bombs that are all natural oil, so she thinks that's quite a good game. She has to wash her own hair.
Yeah.
Whether she gets all that soap out, I don't know, but do you know what?
Yeah.
She's got like a little cup, she does this, and you've got to give her the shampoo. She's got to do it. She's got to do it all. She's quite independent like that.
Yeah.
Have you met quite a lot of parents with children on the spectrum? Like, have you?
Now.
You have.
They're all different. They've all got their own like different things.
And but this is the thing that we discussed when we were on the way up here. It's so different for each and every child. It's so different what they like, what they don't like.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's another reason we wanted to talk with you, is because autism, there's so many things under it.
Yeah.
It's not just one thing. It could be so many things. Like some might not have like the stimming, some do, and there's so much.
I actually made some notes about the common signs in young children, and it was not responding to their name, avoiding eye contact, not smiling when you smile at them, becoming upset if they do not like a certain taste, smell or sound, engaging in repetitive movements such as rocking back and forth or tapping surfaces, not talking.
All of those.
Yeah.
When she was younger, so it's funny, she had all these like things that she used to do, and then as time went on, she grows out of certain things. Like she did used to really flap her hands.
Yeah.
That's not so much now.
No.
And she did used to rock a lot, like from one foot to the other.
Yeah. A couple of questions that we had come through were, how early can professionals pick it up? Because I was always under the illusion they couldn't do it till later on, like, you know, when they're at primary school. But obviously you've had that picked up on your 2-year check.
I think it's because of the whole lining up. Like she was saying to me, if you told her to get her shoes, would she get them? And I was like, no.
Yeah.
It was like she was asking things like, and she was going, does she know her name? And I was like, and again, she never used to respond to her name.
Yeah.
Because they thought she had hearing problems. So they tested all that. But, you know, when they go in that room, and she was like, she had nothing wrong with her hearing.
Yeah.
As I say,
they do all the tests to see.
Yeah, to check.
But I knew there was something not the same as my friends' children, because there was 2 of my other friends were pregnant at the same time, and they had girls as well. But like, I used to go to soft play with him, and I'd be like, I was like running around ragged. My friends were just sitting there drinking coffee. I was like, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It was just, I don't know.
I think as well, like them coming in, as I said, you see that every day. You haven't got any other children. You've got nothing to compare it to. So I guess to you, well, that's just normal, and she's going to, you know, eventually come on to those things. As we say, everyone always says, you know, don't compare them, blah, blah, blah. But I guess hearing that, and it's a bit like, oh, and I guess it makes you then sit there and question everything over, I guess, the last 2 years. So what would you say has been the hardest part for you as a parent?
I think our life's changed a lot. Like, obviously, we can't go on holiday anymore as a family. We went away when she was 6 months old. Actually, we took her to see my husband's family in Uruguay, but obviously she was younger then. Yeah. So she slept the whole flight.
Yeah.
It was hard because she didn't sleep the whole time she was there.
Yeah.
So we were in this hot country, and I was just like, oh my God.
Zombie.
Why did we do this?
4 weeks, and I was just like, I need to go home.
Yeah.
And I was like, we've got to stick to the routine. And obviously their routine out in Uruguay is completely different.
Yeah.
So that was okay-ish. But then obviously she stopped eating. Didn't eat anything out there. It was awful. So I was thinking, oh my gosh, she's got to start losing loads of weight. Then we decided to take her away to, I think we went to Tenerife or somewhere like that. And we had a great holiday. It was brilliant. So I think she must have been a year. Then we decided to go back 3 months later. Not the same holiday.
Oh, really?
Oh, it was completely different. We couldn't go into the restaurant because obviously this is when her senses must have been starting to get heightened.
Yeah.
We couldn't go to the restaurant. We pretty much stayed in the room the whole time. We couldn't even go down the beach. She started eating the sand. She'd be sitting there, and obviously you're sat on the sandy beach, and then she just was sitting there, and there was sand going in her mouth.
Oh, bless her.
And she just wasn't really, I don't know, there was something really completely different, but so we ended up having to go for dinner separately.
Yeah.
And we hardly left the room.
Oh, bless you.
It was awful.
This is a bit of a personal question, so if you don't want to answer it, then don't. But has it had an effect on your relationship? As you said, you've obviously had to you have to sleep in separate beds to make sure that that's better.
Yeah.
You can't go on these family holidays. Do you have support there so you both can still be a couple, or is it really hard?
There's been some challenges, and I think we do work well as a team. I think we have had a few times where, you know, both of us are ready to just throw it all in, but you can't.
Yeah.
We can't. And, you know, we've decided that we'll go on holiday separately with our friends because we want to make sure we're both happy and try and keep a normal life as best as possible. And I hope as Savannah gets older, we'll be able to pick up and do like things together.
Yeah.
But as you say, she's come on so much over the last 2 years.
She
It's
has.
only gonna, hopefully get better.
Yeah, I mean, my mum's brilliant.
Yeah.
But my mum's at that age now where she can't have her all the time. But my mum used to have she used to go over to my mum's once a week and stay there the night. But unfortunately, COVID hit.
Yeah.
And that's what really went screwy for us because Savannah would then not. She was so adamant that I used to take her to mum's and then she'd be like packing her stuff up and going, like signing home.
Bless
And she's
her.
getting really, really.
Agitated.
Yeah, so-
bless her heart.
So it was a bit of a setback, COVID.
Oh, I was,
Massively for you.
badly.
What was it like with the school? Did they keep them open for?
No.
Oh, bless you.
It was awful. So we had to homeschool her.
Oh.
And to start with, it was okay. But then after a while, it was starting to get a little bit tricky.
Yeah, I
really
can imagine.
tricky. And then I got called back to work. So it was all a bit even, because obviously it was all on my husband. He was like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah. Oh, bless you. Yeah, you don't even think about stuff like that, do you? When you're going through it.
Going back to sort of when you got the diagnosis for her, you said you had that sort of feeling anyway. So when the diagnosis came, how did you feel when you actually had that, yes, she does have autism? Did you get a bit of relief?
To be honest with you, I don't think I'm one of those people that doesn't quite kind of, things don't hit me straight away. I'm just like, oh, okay. My husband cried his eyes out. And I was like, no, this is okay. And then I was thinking, I don't even know what autism is. I kept thinking, I don't even know what it is. But I thought, okay, there's nothing we can do. We can't change what's happening. We need to just do some research. And then as obviously things started, you know, I was researching and looked into things, I was realising that, we've got some challenges. But then you don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say, you don't know then how it's going to look
no.
because everyone's so different.
No. And the thing is, the best thing I can say to anybody who's got a child, you just got to live for the day.
Yeah.
Because you could be hit with another challenge, you know. And we've had different challenges over the years. And she's come on so much, leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
You know, they said to me when she was diagnosed, be prepared, she may never talk. And I was thinking, I don't even know sign. Because she started signing things to me, Makaton.
Yeah.
And I was looking at her going, she keeps doing this, I don't know what it means. I'm like,
Sue's like, what's all this
I
then?
was like, I was getting the Google up, you know, I was like, YouTube going, and I was like, she's asking for the toilet. Because she kept doing this. And I was like, what's that?
So
Where
have you
did
learned
she
all
pick
of
that up from?
School.
Yeah.
Because they do, and they use PECs, which are picture exchange cards.
Right.
So the first time she ever used her voice, which was not vocally, was on a strip. And it was like picture cards saying, I want apple, please. And this is what she came up to me and presented. And I was like, oh my God.
Wow.
This is incredible.
That's really clever how to teach that to them.
Yeah.
So someone that can't actually, it shows their minds are there.
Yeah, they can-
just
It's locked.
can't-
I think it's a lock-in, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
there's
how
not something that's connected
Yeah.
through to the mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, but to be able to do that, and
Oh,
like
it
you
was
said, all
incredible.
the Makaton and
Yeah.
signing, I wouldn't have a clue.
No.
So when Savannah talks, she sigh, because she'll go, I don't know what it is, but she'll go, Mummy, happy. I was like,
Yeah.
So she'll sign as she talks.
Yeah. Becky does that at swimming as well
Yeah.
because they've obviously
Yeah,
learned
she does
it. So she
Makaton.
does it all the time.
Yeah. So, which I think's brilliant, because I kept saying, my mum was going, these PECs cards, they're not going to help her talk. But I can't believe how amazing that this is how it works. Like, they get them to do the PECs, then it's obviously the Makaton, and then obviously then it all follows suit. And I just think, how incredible.
Yeah.
How does someone think, we'll do this, and then that's going to start,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know.
Just gets the cogs turning, doesn't it? And then brings on more
It was really,
and more.
I mean, my husband did a whole course on it.
Oh, really?
So
I was
he
going to
knew
ask you,
about
actually.
PECs. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. But he was like, I'm doing a course. I was like, okay. Swat up. But I was like, look, I'll just go with the, because I'm like that. I'll just pick up, go with the flow. I'm a blagger.
Yeah.
I was like, we'll find our way.
So have you you had to learn Makaton, or you just know a few?
I know a
little
few
bits?
things
Yeah.
from her.
Oh,
So
that's
Savannah's
so,
taught me them.
that's so nice.
Yeah.
Bless
It's like
her.
Miss Rachel, isn't it? And Mr. Tumble, or whatever. They all
Yeah.
do the
Oh,
yeah,
Makaton.
Yeah.
And Leia will watch Miss Rachel sometimes, and I like sit there and I say, "Oh, look at that one, and
Yeah.
chick," because it's been spring, so I've
Yeah.
learned all the animals. And
Great, isn't
Yeah,
it?
no, it is good. And
so
do you know,
clever.
I think as well, especially with that, they're being definitely a lot more inclusive to all children, because
Yeah,
they might not
absolutely.
necessarily be able to communicate, but if they can sign, it's amazing.
I mean, I think this is where a lot of the frustration and children have more meltdowns is because they can't be heard, or they can't, say what they want to say.
yeah, no, definitely.
You know, and we definitely have less meltdowns. And we had a lot. I mean, they were a lot. I mean, one point, she was crying and having a meltdown so much, I had to ring Mum. I went, if you don't come and get her, I don't know what I'm going to do. Because I
Yeah.
just couldn't
Yeah.
cope.
No,
I
of
couldn't
course.
cope.
Yeah.
It was too much.
Yeah.
No, I can imagine.
It was like, literally, I had it from the beginning of the day to the end. And I went, I'm not doing this today. I said, Mum, you're going to have to come and get her.
yeah.
I remember my husband coming home and he was like, where's Savannah? And I went, I'm really sorry. He was like, what have you done with her? I was like, no, she's safe. She's at Mum's. He goes, oh, thank God. I went, she's got her overnight. He went, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Because I was
You
so
do
tired.
need that break. So
But
this,
Oh my
you
God,
need a
that breaking
time out.
point.
You need a time
Yeah.
out.
this PA that's going to come on and
Yeah.
help, that is going to be amazing for you guys.
Well, she'll
just to
take
have-
her to do things like
Yeah.
where we're too a bit maybe scared to do it. She'll take her, out and get her, life skills.
Yeah.
Which I too sometimes a bit too anxious to do.
Yeah. What do you think that anxiety is? What other people are thinking, or how you feel in that
I just
moment?
worry in case it all goes. I don't know. In case
Yeah.
something goes wrong.
Yeah.
I think it's just having that, courage to do things.
How did you find that she interacted with like other children?
It's funny. She never used to, but we went to a friend's house the other day, and she's oh my God, she wants to play with all the other children now, where she never used to.
Yeah.
But we went to a friend's house, and she's got one child on the spectrum, and then she's got another child who's not. And she was just pushing him on the swing, the other one, and she's quite mumsy.
Okay.
So little children, she wants to like mother them.
yeah.
So she was taking his shoes off, cleaning his feet, then putting his shoes. I was like, oh my God, so funny. But you can see she wants to be a mum.
Yeah.
Like all her dolls. I mean, it cost us a fortune, but she makes us buy the newborn nappies.
Yeah.
And she changes all her dolls' nappies. But you can see she absolutely loves it, and she loves pregnant people. But she thinks all my friends are pregnant. She's like, baby. And I'm like, no. Definitely not. But she think, yeah.
Oh,
But
bless
she
her.
loves. Oh my God, she's fascinated by babies.
Oh, obviously this is another personal question. So
Yeah.
again, if you don't want to answer, were there plans to have more children, or did you only ever want one, or is this condition made you think actually I don't know if I could do it?
Well, I had Savannah when I was 39, so I was quite an old mum as I class.
Oh, you look amazing.
I'm 48. Yeah.
48. I thought you were our age. No joke.
I'm old.
No, you're not. But yeah.
So yeah, so I had her when I was 39, and maybe if she had slept
Yeah.
a lot sooner,
Yeah.
possibly.
Yeah.
But because she didn't sleep, I was just like, when we finally got our sleep back, I need sleep.
Yeah.
I can't fight. I
Yeah.
can't do anything. I'm useless. I don't know. Not now, because I'm obviously too old, and I want to be able to give Savannah all my.
I was going to say,
everything.
it's actually nice that you have only got the one
Yeah.
so that you can put everything in. Because imagine as well if you'd had one child not on the spectrum first,
Yeah.
and then you'd had Savannah, all your attention is needed more
Yeah.
for her. So then that other one sort of, I don't know what's harder, having one before or after, I guess. But it's, I guess that would be really hard to navigate.
Quite,
so,
I think I do see some of the parents at the school. They do struggle.
yeah.
And I think, I just want to be able to give all mine,
Yeah.
because I work. If I didn't work, then
Yeah.
I might thought maybe I'll have another one. But because
Yeah.
I work quite a lot, I just think no.
How old were you when how old were you when you went back to work after having her? Not how old were you?
How old was she? Well, I stuck Savannah in nursery when she was. She wasn't even a year.
Yeah, I
she
was
was
the
9
same,
months.
6
I was
months.
like,
And
right.
did they ever pick up anything?
No.
The nursery, did they ever?
I'll tell you what, Savannah was really clever. She didn't like the nursery she was at all. And I don't know if it's because the food they were feeding her was I don't know.
Yeah.
But she realised that if she was sick, she'd go home. So I was getting to work and I was getting a phone call. She'd been sick. I was like, again? But she was sick every day, and I ended up taking her out that nursery because we ended up paying the fees.
Yeah, you still have to pay, don't you?
Yeah,
It's
and I was like,
ridiculous.
but she's never there. So we took her out after 3 months, and then she went to one that was local around the corner, which was more smaller.
Yeah.
And it felt like you were going to like...
Organic.
Yeah,
We've
just
had
go
this
organic.
conversation.
Just shop local.
Just
Shop
a real
local,
small...
yeah.
Going, like going to your nan's house. It
Yeah.
was smaller, it was more cosy. She loved it.
Yeah.
I think the other one was too big. They were I don't know why we decided to bilingual at that age, but because Christians from South America, it was like, oh, we're going to teach her Spanish. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's why we took her to that one, but she just didn't like it.
No.
So I went back to work, but I don't really remember being at work because I was so tired the whole time.
No, I was going to say, it's actually having like a bit of you, isn't it, as well?
Yeah.
Whereas life's hectic at home, but having that little bit that's just you, that must be your little safe haven, really, as well.
I've just been shopping around the nurseries, and I know exactly what you mean when you say it's like chaos and hectic. Because I told you, didn't I? Walked into one, and even I felt myself going, oh gosh, they're everywhere, and it's really loud, and I'm just thinking, like, my little lad, she'll hate this in here. And we've ended up sending her to a little
we're saying it's like a big
church hall.
So
Nice.
but it's like you have these big ones who we were putting them down as
Corporate.
like Prezzo, corporate, all of
Corporate,
those,
yeah.
and then you've got the little ones, independent.
I think they're so much better because I think they're more personal.
Yeah,
They are,
definitely.
But the thing is, I was finding that the one that she was at, she had a different one with her every day.
Okay,
She just didn't settle. I mean, I left her there screaming, and Mum was like, "You need to go and get her." I went, "Mum, they're not going to let me take her." I could hear her outside, and I was stood outside going, "Oh God, what do I do?"
Yeah.
And it's hard, isn't it?
It's so hard. It's so hard.
It was awful. It was breaking my heart. But I was like, I've got to go to work though. I was like, oh, it's awful. But you do feel so guilty, don't you, as a mum anyway?
I think the mum guilt's there regardless. Even if you don't work, you think, oh, maybe I should be working and, providing for the family. And then if you do go to work, then you're like, oh, maybe I should be at home more with my family. And it's like you can't win either way.
No,
and
you can't.
I think, like, for me, I needed him to go to nursery. I work from home anyway, but I needed that break because having him there while I'm trying to do my work, I wasn't any good as a mum and I wasn't any good at work because I wasn't putting my all into either one.
No.
Whereas I found putting him in, he only was doing 1 day a week, but it really took the load off and I felt amazing.
I think it's good for kids anyway. I think it helps it builds them, doesn't it? And their relationships and things like that. I think the best thing that we ever did for Savannah was put her into nurseries, and she goes to an after-school club now with the school. I think it's really helped with her interaction with kids.
Yeah.
And it's built her confidence. I mean, she's come on. I mean, she used to like hide away, and now she's like got this complete. She's got confidence in things she does.
Amazing.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
You must honestly be like the proudest mum, especially over the last couple of years, seeing all these changes happening that you, I guess, never know whether they're going to happen or.
Yeah. Oh no, definitely.
Yeah.
Because they do say, when she was diagnosed, one of the things they said to me was, you have to be prepared, she may never talk. And I just thought, oh my God. But my mum was like, no, she'll do it. My mum's just quite the best person to talk to.
Yeah.
Because she's like, no, she'll do it in her own
She sounds very
time.
matter of fact, your
She
mum.
is.
Yeah.
She's very black and white.
Yeah.
My mum. I mean, I think my mum might be on the spectrum herself.
Yeah.
She's very much like, you can't sit there crying in the corner. She's like, oh, for God's sake, come on, get up. She's one of those.
Yeah.
She won't be like, oh, come here. She'll be like, no, get up. She's very much like that.
Yeah.
Best way to be.
Yeah.
And she said to me, she'll talk. She'll do it in her own time.
Yeah.
She like potty training. She'll do it in her own time. And she was right.
Yeah. So she's done everything. She's walking, she's talking, she's, going on the toilet, she's communicating with you, she's got good social skills now.
Yeah.
That is amazing in itself for you being told that she might not ever talk. I guess as every parent, that must be really hard.
A lot, from what I hear from other friends that have got children with autism, that's one of the main things that they always say to them, because they've all said it.
Yeah.
Be prepared, your child might not ever talk.
Yeah, I think that
Are they covering themselves or something?
I don't know. I mean, they're not the most sympathetic people. Like when we sat there, this lady was so dead power-faced. Maybe she has to be. I don't know, but she just went, she has autism. And we were just like, did she just say that? Or because the way it was so... It was like, oh.
Matter of fact.
I think that's medical experts, like just in general, they have this way about, because they deliver that news.
Yeah.
Multiple times a day.
Yeah.
And I think for them it's best to just shut off and not have that emotion and treat every single person exactly the same. I think that's why, because you're not the first person to say this either. And I think that's something that they just do themselves.
Yeah.
Cold-hearted bastards.
Yeah.
But then,
I couldn't do that job. I'd just be like, oh my God, I'm really sorry. You know,
Yeah.
so, I'd want to give him a card or whatever. I mean, we were really, I was held it together a lot more than my husband. He was proper, but then he's more emotional than me anyway, I think. You've got to have one stronger, don't you?
Yeah,
Otherwise-
definitely. What would be your best piece of advice to somebody who's just had their child diagnosed with autism?
I think the best advice is you just have to really listen and, I kind of work with what Savannah needs and what, it's a hard one to sort of say, but I just, our life is around her.
Yeah.
I go with her lead. I don't try and make her do something she doesn't want to do because do you know what? It's not worth it.
Yeah.
It really isn't.
Yeah.
There was one time she really was adamant she didn't want to go somewhere and I thought, do you know what? We're not going to go.
Yeah.
just kept saying no to you.
Yeah, she was getting really, really uptight, and I thought, what's the point? Because if we go, it's like she want to go to this birthday party the other day, but I did say to her, she loves cake, right? I said, there is going to be cake there.
My kind of girl.
And her eyes went, okay, we're going, But you just have to really sort of, I just really, really tap into what she wants and what makes her happy. And I try to live, my life is separate, I think. I have my, I go out with my friends and I go on holiday with my friends and everything else. But yeah, you just have to kind of really just do what they make them happy.
Yeah. And as you said as well, take each day as it comes.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. You just have to live every day because you are set with new challenges. It's just how you overcome them. All in all, that little girl is amazing. And they teach you the way of the world through their eyes, which is incredible.
She sounds amazing. Honestly, listening to your story, it's been eye-opening for both of us. We both said on the way up here we couldn't wait to have this conversation.
We're looking forward to this one.
Yeah. No, we really
Just
have.
because it's like I said before we started recording, it's everywhere at the moment. Everyone seems to be talking about it. Everyone seems to be getting diagnosed with it.
It was just autism awareness, wasn't it? Was it last week?
Last week.
Yeah.
We don't know if she's going to be diagnosed with Tourette's because at the moment she's got a few tics.
Okay.
Like funny little head things, but they said that the tics have to last a long time for them to diagnose that.
Yeah.
The other thing is she does shout random words. I was in a post office the other day. I don't know if it's because she was just nervous but there was 2 people in there. I thought, I'll take her in. I've got to do this parcel. Got to do it. And when we were in there, she just shouted really loud, "Foot tickle!" And I was like, random. But we just don't know because she does shout random words. But we don't know if she's practicing words she's learned. I don't know.
Yeah, you'd rather her be doing that than not.
Yeah.
It could be worse.
But everyone just turned around, they thought it was really funny. I was like, random. And it did bother me.
No.
Yeah.
But we don't know. They do say that Tourette's is linked to autism.
Yeah.
And whether she's got ADHD because she won't sit and watch a movie.
No. Yeah.
She's up. She's skinny as she's honestly. She's really long legs. I went, maybe I should just keep jumping because if she winds up with those long legs like that, but she's like tiny.
Has she got a trampoline or anything?
Yep.
Yeah, I was going to say
She's got a trampoline.
on that a lot.
Yeah, and we used to have one indoors as well.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, a little indoor one.
Oh, bless her.
The wait list at the moment for diagnosis for autism is long.
Yeah, we were just lucky
as
we
well
got
as ADHD as well.
Yeah.
And it seems that people are really having to fight for their diagnosis for their children as well. Is there any advice you would give anyone if they see certain things or if they're thinking maybe they do, maybe they don't? What advice would you give them?
It's hard because we didn't have it. It was taken out of our hands. So, that health visitor, I thank her, really.
Yeah.
Because I don't know where we'd be right now. But, she was so adamant you need to get her checked. And I think it's down to the health visitors, really. To notice. It's harder for girls to be diagnosed, apparently, because they mask it.
Yeah, I heard, I wrote down here, actually, that autism is 3 times more prevalent in boys than girls, and signs of autism in girls can present themselves differently, and as a result can be misdiagnosed or missed, leading to boys getting a diagnosis.
Yeah.
So
I think Savannah the things that she was obviously doing were quite strong. The lining up, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
Like, she never played. She never did... pretend play.
Yeah.
Like you give her something, she'd be more excited by putting them, lining things up.
Putting stuff together rather than actually playing with them.
She, just see her pushing a doll around in a pram was just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that was a big
bless
thing.
her.
And then obviously she used to go to like a speech and language when she was really little, and the lady was trying to teach her to, like, I want some cake, and she would go to the dolly, the dolly wants cake. So little things like that. There's like, obviously Savannah's now, she starts feeding her dolls.
Yeah.
I mean, she's obviously doing it a lot later,
But
because
yeah, it
obviously
doesn't.
being 8.
Yeah.
But she is doing role
She's
play.
doing it, yeah.
Because she
definitely.
never did that.
No.
It was all just everything used to line up. We didn't even used to know what to buy her.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously she still hasn't learnt to ride a bike properly, but that's going to come, I think.
Yeah.
She loves a scooter. I mean, she's quite dangerous on it. So we're just like, oh God. But yeah. So those like, motor skills and things like that she doesn't use a knife and fork. She uses a fork, but not a knife. Doesn't know how to use a cart.
Yeah.
So there's all like little things. that you
Kaylee
think,
still doesn't either.
No, I actually don't. No, I get the piss taken out of me all the
Go
time.
to a restaurant with her, it's painful to
Yeah,
watch
it is.
sometimes.
Oh, don't. No one take me anywhere fine dining,
No,
please.
honestly.
Random question, but how was she with pets?
It's funny, she wants to go near a dog, but if a dog starts jumping up, she's quite scared.
Yeah.
But she actually starts horse riding next week with the school.
Oh, wow.
Because apparently horses are really good for
Horses are really, really good.
Yeah.
They give horses give off a calming nature towards children with autism.
Because their senses are high, aren't they?
That's
They
it.
get-
Yeah. So
So she starts
amazing.
horse riding, so we're quite excited about that. Because I like horse
expensive
riding.
hobby, that's it.
Yeah. Little pony running around our garden. I can see that.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
But yeah, loves a dog, but she's quite scared.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when
no.
she starts jumping, that's it. She's like, but she's quite. I mean, my friend had a therapy dog that she brought over, and I think she should quite terrorise that thing. I was like, no, don't. Just wanted to like throw it things all the time. I was like, oh God, poor thing.
All of the calming, chill.
Yeah, she just kept throwing it like toys. I was like, no, it doesn't
Come
want
on,
your toys.
jump.
Yeah.
Cool.
You're meant to jump.
Yeah, so she's yeah.
Bless her.
Well, we don't have any pets because I think, oh God, no. I don't want to.
Another thing to have to
Look
after
after.
and think about, and
No.
another thing in the mix, and you don't want to
Yeah.
upset her anyway.
No.
No, trust me, my dog drives me up the bloody wall.
Drives me up the
Having another baby sometimes, aren't they?
Oh, honestly, it's worse.
Happy with one at the moment.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Is there, like on social media, people build up like communities with other people. Did you find that you went down that route, or did you not really like to meet other people in the same?
I think because she was going to a preschool with other children. This is where I've got my friends' sort of social circle from them. I don't see them that often, but when I do, we all like, we all
You've
get
all got that
together,
in
and our
common as
kids,
well, yeah.
if we're all together, I don't know, you just feel like feel more confident.
Yeah.
And I mean, funny enough, one of Christian's a friend of his son's autistic, and they were at the same preschool together. And when we were being shown around, he bumped into his friend. He goes, "What are you doing here?" And he was like, "What are you doing here?" So that was quite nice because I actually became really good friends with his wife.
Oh, that's nice.
So I see them quite a bit.
Yeah.
But it's actually quite nice because I felt quite lonely when she was
the
young.
support, yeah.
Like. I think my friends could see that Savannah was, like she'd be on her own in the corner. Like the other two girls, they'll be playing, and Savannah would be in the corner doing something, like obviously like looking at her hands. She was really fascinated with her hands, so she'd be stood in the corner doing this all the time. And I found it quite lonely.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And isolated because, we couldn't go to like soft play together because she'd have a meltdown. It was just little things that we just couldn't do.
Yeah.
And I feel like now we can go to play groups together or do things together.
Yeah.
Like, with other children. So I've actually got quite a nice little social circle. Which
That's
is quite,
really nice. Yeah, that's so important.
Yeah.
I think when you're going through anything like that, it's just to know somebody in exactly the same situation, and your friends can be there. We say this so much. Your friends can be there only to a certain degree, but they don't get it. So the only people that get it are the ones going through it as well.
This is it. I think you need to live, breathe, sleep, eat, autism to understand all the little quirks that they have. And
And there's going to be more, I reckon, that come about. I reckon there's going to be, in the next sort of year, with how, where it is everywhere.
Yeah.
I was saying to you, Lee Ryan got diagnosed this morning with it on Good Morning Britain. Duncan was on there talking about that they've done like a little documentary about it for him.
Yeah.
And he said, now looking back, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because he would just come out and get in a lot of trouble for saying things direct and just coming out with it, but that is one of his traits.
Yeah,
he's
quite
very
literal,
direct, and it just comes out. And they say that sometimes people with autism, they don't really have much emotion.
No.
And that they do just switch off.
Yeah.
And that they do just say things how it is. And you sometimes fit them from, cool, you're straight talking. But it's just where they are. And that's what he has, that side of things. So
it's like when Savannah hits as well. And we say, and we feel like, that really hurt. Or she doesn't understand that.
No.
She would go, sorry, mummy. And she does that because that's sorry.
Oh. I want to learn all this Makaton.
Honestly, get on YouTube.
Yeah, I will. No, it's amazing. It is amazing when you think back to like years and years ago that would never have even been a thing, and how much it's all come on now.
I wonder what, I mean, I don't know if it's a genetic thing or not, but I do start to think now, looking back, that I definitely think my brother's got Asperger's. He was always like different for me growing up. He always found things hard work, and like we go on holiday and everything was boring, but I think he's got no filter.
Yeah.
He just says things direct. Like, oh, you can't say that. I go, why? I go, because you're going to hurt someone's feelings. He doesn't understand.
Yeah.
He's got really high OCD.
Okay.
So I think, and also, me and my dad have said now that we think my mum's on the spectrum. It's just little things that you think, oh yeah, that's... Because my mum's very direct. And sometimes she could say things like, oh, Mum, that's really unkind. And she goes, is it?
Yeah.
Like, you know, you have to... So it's hard. I mean, I think I've always had problems with... like especially at school, I never learned anything. I think I just couldn't concentrate.
Yeah.
So I think it was that ADD.
Yeah. Or ADHD, ADD. Yeah.
No, ADD, that one.
Like literally, I'd read something and it wouldn't go in.
No.
And I could read it again, and unless I've had some interest in something, it wouldn't stick.
I'm like that though, and I've always been like that. And even now, I can be in the middle of work, and then I think in my head, oh, I'll just quickly go and put that in the bin, and before I know it, I'm doing like 6 other things, and I think, why? I literally was in the middle of doing something for work, and now I've got to go back to that, and it really takes everything to like concentrate on it.
Yeah, you end up...
Yeah.
My other half, he's got ADHD. He's never been diagnosed, but if you look at what someone with ADHD has, I might as well just sit there and tick every single bit, and that's not even a joke. And he knows it as well, and his family have even said it. And I said, why did you never get diagnosed? Because he said, I felt like I managed to control it myself. And I worked my little ways around things that I do. And it's things like I can walk in from work, he'll have the TV on in the kitchen, the TV on the lounge, music going from the speaker and his laptop, and he's having a lovely time. Me, I'm like, oh my God, get to his heart. Like I'm going crazy in my mind. He lines things up. And I don't actually think he realises he does it sometimes, but when he comes in, he always puts his laptop in the same place, and then his pens, keys, pencils, like all things like that as well. No, Sam Thompson.
I do,
That's my other half.
And
he's got no boundaries for personal space with people. Like, he will meet you for the first time, come up and give you like the biggest cuddle and like slapping you on the back. And I've told stories before when we're on holiday. I find myself going around saying, sorry about him, sorry. Because he just random people that he's met, he'd be like their bestest friends, and there's so much love there, but that's just what he's like. So
I think when you look at, I think everyone's got some kind of quirk.
But this is what we've said as well.
So if we were all the same, how boring would it be?
Yeah, it'd be so boring.
So we've all got quirks. We've all got... I mean, I used to have really bad OCD. I don't know if I got it from my mum, but I used to never like people touching my curtains. If I had got them all like really... You know, this is when I lived on my own. And if anyone touched them, I'd be like, who touched them? Don't touch them. And they're like, oh, you wouldn't be able to touch... But as I've obviously got Savannah now, and my husband's not the most tidiest person, they've gone. Like, I haven't got that OCD anymore. Because I used to line up the remote controls.
Oh my God, I got it.
It used to be in like size order, but that, gone.
That takes over your mind.
Mad.
When I was pregnant with my daughter, I was 18 when I got pregnant with her. And I remember my OCD at that point was so bad. I'd go into Asda, and you know, like if you saw like all the shower gels, I would go around bloody turning them.
Kaylee's just restacking the shelf.
Honestly, it was driving me mad. In the end, I couldn't go. And now there's only 2 things now that I still have to do. My hands always like bleed from how much I'm washing them. And when I say goodbye to my mum, she has to kiss me on the cheek at the same time. We have to both make the kiss sound at the same time. And if I don't do it, I can't leave the house. It's so weird. Honestly, it drives me, and it will drive me mad. And my sisters all know, so they'll run after me. It's just be the last one I kiss, and they'll all try and kiss me after. And I'm like, no, because I cannot relax. I honestly think something really bad's going to happen if I don't do that.
God, that's like an OCD. Like my brother, he he used to struggle to lock the door.
Yeah.
So he'll think like he's almost having an argument with himself, going, "It's locked, it's not locked, oh, locked."
Yeah.
And he'll stand there and stand there and stand there. And one time he said he was so long, like trying to lock the door, even though it was locked, he was checking it. He was an hour late for work, so he was like, "It's phone in sick." But he used to break handles off car doors.
I had a friend like that.
Yeah, he's like, da-da, and the next bit, he's like, blimey.
Honestly, it takes over your
But
mind,
he
and
used
you
to hate it.
can't.
It used to drive him nuts. And he went to see somebody, and they said, "When you do that, you've got to sing happy birthday." He goes, "I feel even stupid now.
Yeah.
Sing happy birthday to myself." I don't know if it works, but
I'm going to try that next time because I always do it with straighteners, and I found myself like going around the block and going back to the home.
Oh, really?
And there was this one day as well, I didn't even fucking use the straighteners that day. And I drove to the end of the estate and gone, did I leave the straighteners on?
Yeah.
And I've drove all the way back to Hart, and I've gone upstairs like, didn't even use the straighteners today. What am I going on about?
so
and
you have your own little argument, don't you? You have
Yeah,
to argue with yourself.
definitely.
You're like, yeah.
And I'll ask Sam as well, like, did I turn the straighteners off? He goes, why are you asking me? I don't even know if you were using them. I'm
You
like,
do know, though, they
innit?
turn themselves off these days.
No, I know, but in my head they don't. So
Yeah.
there's
Oh,
a
yeah, they do turn off,
malfunction.
don't they?
Yeah.
No, but there's a malfunction with mine, and in my head they're not going to turn off, and they're going to burn the house down.
Oh, no.
It is true. The spectrum is so big now.
So big, yeah.
Everyone
Yeah.
is on it. And we did speak to someone, or I spoke to a healthcare person or something, and they have said they have made the spectrum so bloody big.
Yeah.
Everyone is on
Everyone
it.
would fit it in some
Everyone,
point. Yeah.
if you came and you did a checklist like your
Yeah.
healthcare
Yeah.
like visitor said, they would say, you might have this,
Yeah.
you might have that, because literally you will go onto the spectrum for something.
Yeah, because there's always something.
Well, we've mentioned everything that we do.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's what I mean. As we said, we've all got our weird little quirks, and yeah, it can come under
But like you
anything.
said, if everyone was the same in this world, it'd be bloody boring.
Yeah.
Well, boring.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much for
You're
coming on and
welcome.
sharing
Thank
your
you
story.
for having
Honestly, it's
me.
been
That's been
amazing.
lovely.
Thank you so much. Guys, make sure that you're following us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. We're at Mummahood UNCENSORED _. Follow and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. Leave us a review. And have I missed anything?
Don't think so. I just smile. I just smile at this part.
Yeah. We'll see you same time next week. Love
Love
you.
you,
Bye. Bye. Bye.